Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. So I want to talk about in this video something that comes up time and time again on my YouTube channel, and I want to address it. And hopefully this is going to help some of you guys when it comes to your trading and how to get ahead in the markets and how to think about the markets and so on and so forth. And that is market manipulation. Market's manipulated. Market is this. Market is that. They suppress. They can't keep propping this up and so on and so forth. Right. So, for example, I'll give you an example here. And I'm just gonna take a copy. I'm gonna copy and paste a comment that I got just recently on my YouTube channel. And this is it. This is it here, right? So the comment was from John Watson. He said, Winston. He said, what has changed for the better in this country from say 5 years ago when the Dow was around 16 to 17,000? Nothing. That's what. The central banks and the Fed false propping have been carrying this market up for the past year or so. 2017 was up all year simply on the basis of speculation and emotion. The bigger the bubble expands, the harder it's going to implode and dump. This will make 2008 sell-off look like child's play. All right, and then Matt says, I agree, and yes, and yet I am wrong. Here is the thing, guys. Here's the thing, okay? You've either got two really ways you can think about the markets in itself. One, you can think about all these things that you think are against you. Okay, the market's manipulated, the market's going up, the market's this, the market's that, the market's this, blah, blah, blah. Right? So you can look at it like that. And if you do look at it like that, I guarantee you are one sore, silly sausage right now because you've probably lost a lot of money due to the fact that the market is not doing what you wanted it to do, right? So therefore, you really thought the market was going to crash, and so you shorted the market, just like so many other people are doing and have been doing pretty much all this year, and the market has continued to go up. So you got into a position based on what you thought was going to happen, or based on some YouTube video, or something sounded so good. You watched a YouTube video and said, this is definitely going to happen. This makes so much sense. The market's going to implode. You might watch then another YouTube video and say, yes, we're definitely in a bear market right now. This is definitely a bear market rally, and we're definitely going to start this market dropping down. I'm going to short this and get ready for the market then. Right? And so I see so many people that come along with the idea of that, and if I go and even if I comment on this one right here, right? If I bring this one up here, let me just zoom in on this one. And let me open this up here. So this one here was from Jeff. He says, as sad as it is, I still watch these type of videos. In the end, PMS will save your ass. It's just so far out. The manipulation will be one more generation. So there's so much talk about the market being manipulated. You know what? And if that's true, right? We cannot do anything about that, can we? Now, you've got two ways of looking at this. One, you can keep being sore or sorry about the market being manipulated. And the only reason why you would be cranky about that is you're on the wrong side of that, right? You thought the market was going to crash, and so therefore the market went up. So therefore the market's manipulated. And because the market's manipulated, that's the reason why you lost money. Total and absolute BS. The reason why you lost money in the markets was none other than the person looking in the mirror. You. When I lose money in the markets, it has nothing to do with anything else but from me. It simply means that I wasn't following a plan, I wasn't consistent, I wasn't disciplined, I wasn't patient, waiting for the right setup, and so on and so forth. So if you are looking at the markets, that these markets are manipulated and it's never going to end, this manipulation is never going to end, and so on and so forth, who gives a rat's candle ass about the manipulation? Because really, who cares about that? Because what you should be caring about is what are you doing? What are you doing to benefit you as a trader? because there are patterns that form in the market that repeat themselves again and again and again and again that give you a high win-loss ratio. Like with my trading system, when I wait for my setup that meets the rules, 90+% win-loss ratio. And if anyone doubts that, ask any of my private clients because they know that. I did a coaching call with my private clients today, and they see if they just wait for this setup, 90+% of the time it's going to do well for them. So if you are gung-ho in this market because of what you thought was going to do or what you hope it was going to do, or you're fearful of missing out, then that is the wrong way to go to build long-term income and build your confidence level long-term in the markets. If you seriously want to become a good trader, and I learned this the hard way, I'd watch a YouTube video, or I'd listen to a live stream, or I'd read a subscription, and I was completely wrong. Yet the market was telling me that, hey, this is what's happening. Like, for example, through the whole election, 2015, 2016, the market went up because of whatever. Hang on a minute, but the charts were telling you that the market was likely to go up. How? Well, if I go back to this is the Dow Jones chart, or if I go back to the weekly chart here, and if I go back to 2016, what was the chart doing back here? Like, let's just throw the whole, the market's manipulated and the market went up and then blah, 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 and all this sort of crap. And what do we have back here? Right? Let's just look at this here. This is back in 2015, 2016. What was happening here? Let's just keep this really, really simple. We have a high. We have a low. We have a slight lower high. We have a double bottom. We have an equal high. We have a higher low. We have a higher high, higher low, breaking past previous highs. So right here, as this is happening, who's in control? The buyers, right? And then the market went up. But what was happening through here? Did we ever get a lower high breaking past previous lows? Yes or no? No. We got a lower high double bottom right here, but did it ever confirm a downward trend? Yes or no? No. So therefore, there was no sellers in control. We went from an upward trend back here to a sideways phase for a while, resting phase, and then we went for another run. So we need to throw that idea out the window that the market's manipulated and it's against you. No, you are against you because you're not educated and you're focusing on all this other thing out there that you think is going to be the secret sauce to making you money. And it's right in front of you of the thing there. And all you need to do is follow a setup that you believe in, because there are many patterns in the markets that repeat themselves. That'll have a 70% win-loss ratio, an 80% win-loss ratio. Even with a 70% win-loss ratio and you have a 1-to-1 risk reward, even with that, and you only wait for that setup, that's all you take over the next 20 trades, you're going to do well. Why don't you do well? Because of the old adage is because what do? You get into something because you think it's a good idea, or you hope it's going to work out, or you're fearful of missing out. And on top of that, not only that, but then you start to load up your account. Instead of taking a 5% or a maximum of 10% risk on any given one trade, now you're loading up 30, 40, 50% of your account on one trade, hoping you're going to get a home run hit. So if you are thinking of this, okay, if you are thinking about this, I have been there for you. And you really only have two choices, okay? You either really want to get good results from the markets, so therefore you need to start looking at what you're doing, because you're the one that clicked the button. You're the one who got into the positions. It wasn't the markets it's not the market that's against you. It's not the market you have to worry about. It's you have to worry about. Because I guarantee you, if you showed me your trades and you showed me your last 10 trades, if those last 10 trades were consistent with each other, that met a certain set of rules, I guarantee you're probably doing well. And on top of that you're having good risk management on every single trade. So if you do have a losing trade, it's not hurting your account. I guarantee you're going to do well. But I guarantee you 95% of the people that are watching this right now, guess what? They're doing this. One trade they got into because I thought it was a good idea. Next trade they hope it was going to do. Next one they're fearful of missing out. And then suddenly over here there's another one. Well, Donald Trump said, You know, oil looks expensive, so we're going to whatever. Make sense? So please, 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 I want you to do well, okay? This is not me talking at you or talking down at you or having a go at you, because I used to think like that. I used to think the market was against me. But at the end of the day, it was me that was against me. And when I started being more consistent at showing up, disciplined to only taking the quality trade that I know it's going to work for me 90+% of the time, and being patient and waiting for that as long as possible. If I have to wait a whole week, then I have to wait a whole week for that one setup to appear on the charts. If I have to wait a whole month for one good quality trade, then that's my job as a trader. I am paid to wait and wait for that quality setup that I truly believe in. If you are taking trades right now and your last 5 trades have been completely different, you're trying to pick a top, you're trying to pick a bottom, you got in here, there is no consistency. There is no consistency. And if there's no consistency at taking one setup, how do you expect to have consistent long-term profits in the markets? If you want consistent long-term profits in the markets, overall, you must start to be consistent at taking those trades. Discipline at taking those trades, and the biggest one is being patient, being happy, sitting on the sidelines and not being in position for as long as you have to. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, as long as you have to until that happens. And if you can start to do that, you can become an amazing trader. Trading is not that difficult. You just have to get out of your own way. And I promise you, if you can start to work on that, of you disciplining yourself to only taking these quality setups that you believe, that these quality trades that you believe in, and every single trade meets the same rules. Like if you talk to my private clients, they all know, right? They all know exactly the set of rules, step by step by step. That's going to equal a very high quality trade that most of the time it's going to run on for a profit. All we have to do is wait for that. Makes sense? So if you can do that, you too can become an amazing trader. You really, really, really can. But if you keep pointing the finger at everyone else, the reason why you're losing money, or if you keep pointing the finger at everyone else, the reason why you're not doing so well in the markets, then you're not getting the lessons. And if you're not getting the lessons, then you're going to keep repeating the same pattern again and again and again. And you're not building on top of what you're doing right now. You are essentially failing, right? Because it's in these losses that you have right now. It's teaching you something. Oh, you know what? Every single loss you have, it's trying to teach you something. And if we can be accountable for what we do, and us men, especially us men, right, throw our egos out the window and say, okay, then what can I learn from this? What from my last month, or my last 2 months, or my last 3 months? What can I honestly learn about this? What's the biggest thing that I'm struggling with? Okay, then, well, I'm really all over the place. There's no real plan of attack here. I'm just hoping there's, all that sort of stuff. Oh, okay then. If that's the case, then I really need to start working on some sort of a plan. I need to go to invest with a coach, or get some sort of plan that I believe in first, and start to work on that. Right? Anything would be okay. A higher high and a higher low, breaking past previous highs, or something like that. Just some plan. Makes sense? And then from that plan, then you start to get better and better and better. Because what's going to happen is, that's what happened to me. Well, I started off by being all over the place, and then I went to my 7-figure coach, and then he gave me a plan. But 80% of the trades for 2 or 3 months were still think, hope, or fear trades. They weren't plan trades. And then I'd look at all my results. I'm like, oh, well, if I just stuck to the plan, all these other think, hope, or fear trades, they're the one that destroy me. But if these 2 trades that I took, or these 6 trades that I took in the last 3 months, they were planned trades, and if I just did those, then I would have made money. And then now I need my next 3 months. I'm going to focus on taking more quality trades. And the next 3 months, then I still took about 30% of my trades were think, hope, or fear trades. And then it took about a good 6 months of doing that for me to realize that if I really want to start to be good at this, I've got to be disciplined and consistent at taking these setups, or taking the one setup that I truly believe in and that meets the rules, and nothing else. And if you can be patient for that, that's when it happens. And so now I link so much pain to taking a think, hope, or fear trade. Just because the charts are telling me that this is likely to happen doesn't mean I'm going to trade it. The only way that I'll ever get into a trade is when I know that it meets a high probability setup. Because you want to be able to build on what you're doing. So remember I was saying before about my journey, right? I started off all over the place, and then 80% of the trades were still think, hope, or fear trades, and then 30% of the trades. And then I was building and building and building and building, as well as getting better at identifying the high quality setup that's going to do really well for me. Make sense? And if you can do that and you start to build on what you're doing, that starts to build progress, that's how you eventually become quote unquote lucky in these markets. And it doesn't matter whether the market's rigged or not. The market's always given us these patterns again and again and again. And it's up to us to wait for these quality patterns, i.e. your trading setup, now, whatever it is for you. And if you can do that and you can focus on being consistent with that, disciplined to only take in that one setup, bullish and bearish, and patient, waiting as long as you have to, you can absolutely crush these markets. But if you're focusing on, if you keep pointing the finger at everyone else, you're not going to get the results you want. And the reason why you're not going to get the results you want, because you're not getting the lessons. And the lessons are there to help you build on what you're already starting to build as a foundation. Make sense? So here are the things that I really want you to focus on as you're starting to move forward in these markets. Before you go, I am giving away a free trial to the Master Trader Lab with all the different trading courses you can see on the screen right now. So go to mastertraderlab.com right now. I'm running a special over the next few days. So go to mastertraderlab.com to get a free trial to all the different trading courses you can see on the screen right now. So go to mastertraderlab.com.